We're going to start with the covers by gluing the boards to the cover sheets. I'm going to use the grid of the cutting mat to help me place the board onto the cover sheet, but feel free to draw the 1-inch border with a pencil. Now I'm going to repeat the same step for the other cover. Now I'm going to use the corner miter tool to cut the triangles. Next, I'm going to glue down the flaps, starting with the left and right, and then move to the top and bottom. I'm tucking the corners in with my bone folder. You can also do this with your fingertips. So this is the back of the longest piece of book cloth. And right now what I'm doing is finding the center of that book cloth and drawing a line with a pencil. I'm also going to find the center of the spine piece as well. I'm eyeballing it, but you can mark a 1.5-inch border on top and bottom, but I'm going to just mark with the actual spine so I know where to put it. And then I'm going to glue the spine down to the book cloth. It's helpful to have a wet paper towel for your fingertips to wipe off the glue. It's really hard to get glue off of book cloth. So I'm marking the border on top and bottom, and then I'm going to use that wood spacer so I can place the front and back covers. So we're going to start with the back cover, painting the glue directly onto the book cloth, and then placing the back cover down, but I should have removed the, the wax paper first. I'm going to repeat the same step for the front cover. Now I'm going to glue the top and bottom flaps down onto the case binding, using the bone folder to make sure that it gets in all the crevices and making sure the book cloth is nice and smooth. Now I'm grabbing a fresh sheet of wax paper and I'm going to glue directly onto the back of the smallest piece of book cloth, using my fingernails to hold it in place, wiping my fingernails and hands with the paper towel, and then now I'm going to place it directly on top and then use the bone folder to burnish and make sure the book cloth is nice and smooth. I'm using another fresh piece of wax paper. I'm going to glue on the back of the inside covers. I'm using the UHU Glue Stick. And then later on, you're going to see that I'm going to lift up the edge that is right on top of the book cloth and use PVA. I'm going to repeat the same step again for the other cover. Now I'm going to place the case in the press and let it dry while I'll prepare the signatures. This is a jig. It's the same height and width as the spine, and I'm going to fold it in half and then fold it in half again, then fold it in half again. So 3 times. When you do that, you should have 7 folds on the jig. Next, I'm going to fold it hot dog style. I'm going to start on one side and work my way all the way down to the end. Now I'm going to fold the outside edges into that middle line. I'm going to mark those lines with a pencil. And everywhere the lines intersect, I'm going to mark a dot so I know exactly where I'm going to poke my holes in the spine and in the signatures. I'm grabbing the book cradle. I'm going to place the first signature into the cradle, slide it all the way in so it's nice and flush. Grab the jig, fold it in half, place it down, and then grab the awl and poke the holes. Repeat this step 2 more times. Now I am clipping the jig to the center of the spine of the case with 2 binder clips. We have several boards like this in the classroom in F418, so you can use that to poke directly down into the spine instead of using the cradle. You're going to need 3 pieces of thread that are at least 3 lengths of the spine. This thread is unwaxed, so I'm going to wax it manually. I'm going to thread the needle, but I'm going to pull the thread only a few inches in. I'm going to start with the first signature at the top hole. You're going to go through with your needle, pull the thread all the way through, and leave a few or a couple of inches as a tail on the inside. Then you're going to go through the second hole, and you might have to go through each sheet of paper, and that's okay, so take your time. And then now you're going to tie a box knot at that top hole. So right over left and then left over right. And then pull nice and tight. And then now you're going to go through the third hole. Making sure that it's nice and tight. You're going to take the needle and go underneath that link. Pull through. Pull nice and tight. And then go through or back through the third hole. Pull tight, go through number 4. And then go underneath both links. And then back through the 4th hole. And now number 5. and then go underneath those stitches, go back through the 6th hole, and then go down to number 7. And then go underneath those links, go back through the 7th hole, and then now you're going to tie a box knot using the needle. So go underneath one direction through the hole, and then pull nice and tight, and then go the other direction through the loop, and then trim halfway between the top and the first hole, and then halfway between the bottom and the last hole. Repeat the same steps again for the other 2 signatures.